The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing. But to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position, and to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw on 2nd down, Wolf. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Wolf. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Rashad Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Zerline's kick is up and through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. Back to the ground with Gibson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Flush to his right. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. picked off by Carl Joseph. And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. And I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
8 yards to go on second down. And here's a give to Gibson, running right through him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll run with Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. They're going to try and throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. 10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Aaron Donald. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Looking to throw on second down. Wolf. There he goes inside the 30. And down to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Looking to throw. Wolf. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. Touchdown! Will Dissly, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he returns this to the 22. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no point. Pressure comes, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Jones. And he coughs up the football near. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Wolf. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to add on to their first half lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Left side complete to Lockett. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. and they get one here in the passing game.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and a yard. Throwing Jones. This complete to Lockett. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing on first down. Jones. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Back to throw again. And he'll just get rid of it. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to...
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. And that's a critical touchdown. I don't want to be too hyperbolic or whatever, but they needed some points on the board before halftime.
They certainly did, and, you know, it's not going to erase everything that happened in the first half. Look, they got outplayed. There's no question about that. But now it gives them a chance to regroup, feel a little bit better about themselves. And how many games have we done where we've seen everything flip when another half begins? And by the way, did you say hyperbolic?
I did. Thank you. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Lockett the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. Going up top for Kupp. Oh, and Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And Zerline's kick is good. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Here's 2nd and 9.
It's going to be a long day.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Operating from the gun. Wolf. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Trey Boston shot through on the safety blitz for the sack. The Bengals bring out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 47-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Second and 8 coming up. Off the play fake. Jones. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play there on the catch and run.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Short completion, just 4 yards, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The Ravens go for it but come up empty, and the Bengals will get the football back. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's got a Bengals first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
A first down and more for Edwards-Helaire. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 63 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. Now Greg Zuerlein. We all remember the 57-yarder that sent the Rams to the Super Bowl. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
This time, the extra point up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout, and actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours, and they certainly weren't kidding.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. Oh, and Edwards-Helaire, I don't think he got there. He did not. They'll stop him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Zerline's kick is up and through, and their lead will swell up to 28. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Jones hit, and the ball's out. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they look to finish strong in this fourth quarter, and this is a unit that certainly has turned things around from a week ago. Just a much more productive all-around ball game. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 45-yard line.
19 Tiger. Tight into the right, boy. Tight into the right.
Now Edwards-Helaire, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. From the gun, Wolf. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it, and the Bengals grab it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Here's Edwards-Helaire. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cincinnati, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.
Coming up, it's the first of 2 meetings over a 3-week stretch. Washington looks to make it 3 in a row for Philly after the Eagles won the previous 6 meetings. It's NFC East football, and it's next.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading him out, the rookie from Ohio State at 22 years of age, it's Justin Fields. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And, Charles, for this defense, they're a confident bunch. Some may say maybe too confident at times. How do you think that they approach a game like this when they're taking on a team that's lost 4 straight?
Well, if they're anything like their head coach, they're relying on that confidence. You and I both were sort of surprised at his weekly press conference when he was asked about this being a trap game. He was almost boasting that he didn't see anything to worry about. That surprised both of us in a big way, because we know that can be a dangerous tactic, because I can guarantee you the guys on the other side, they heard that, and they're looking for anything to galvanize them.
And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Here's Fields. He gets it to Thomas. And he goes out of bounds and looks like right at the 50. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. From the 50, here's Fields. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now Fields. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. From the 38, Fields. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. D. Ford forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a first down and more.